Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be working on my buddy's Honda Element. We found this car a couple years ago. Some lady who was moving out of town, she sold it to us for a couple $1,000. It's actually in pretty good shape. It was in good shape. It had like a door ding. The back door was scratched. I think it was like kind of caved in a little. And the front fender. So the front fender is from a junkyard car. It took my buddy here a while to find this fender because he was going to take it to the paint shop, and I told him, just, hey man, just wait until you find one at the junkyard, and I guarantee you the colors will be all right. No one's going to care. So this fender is from some other kind of Element, maybe 07, 06, I don't remember. So this car is kind of Frankenstein together. And it's kind of cool because everything that you see on this car came from another car. A lot of the parts on here, even the lights in the back. So what he did is he put the Frankenstein sticker. That's our Bucky sticker. Bucky's is a deal here in Texas. Don't mess with Bucky or Texas. And then see, as you can see, this, I mean, the lady, obviously, you know, she had a couple run-ins with unmovable objects, and those are the kind of things that I guess he's been fixing. This right here, he put some staples on there just to get it together, and that's why he calls it Frankenstein. It's part of the character of this Element. The 07, 08 headlights, we found those probably for like $75. I was trying to convince him to put the 07 grill, but he really likes this grill. So when we found this car, like I said, I was walking to Walmart, and the lady, I just ran into her, and I was jokingly, and I asked her if she wanted to sell it, and she's like, give me your number, maybe one day I will. And then a month later, she was like, I'm moving back to Iran, here's the car, I'll give it to you. And we didn't hesitate. Now, it did have a couple oil leaks here, things there that he's fixed, VTEC solenoid, but in overall, and then obviously replaced the fender, door, back door. And then he's found the roof racks, the bottom kick rails here. I think he got them for like $75. So, you know, everything's been slowly getting in. The deal with this one today, though, is my buddy got a different stereo. All right, so this is the stereo that we basically picked up. It's the one from Walmart that was on special. It was like a $200 radio, so now it was $80. I mean, you can't pass that up. It's a newer model, so it's gonna have better features. It's got the maps, the integrated connection. It should be a nicer stereo. The other stereo, he's gonna use it and put in another vehicle. Kind of the same thing we're doing. These right here are the seats that we're putting in his 03. Still haven't done them. I cleaned them. I've been working on them. So make sure to subscribe, hit the like and notification, because that's another video we're going to do pretty soon. But right now, this is what we're doing. So we're going to pop this sucker open real quick. We'll pop the stereo casing over there on the Element, and then we're going to slap this on there. If I connected this correctly, I should have used the... oh, that's another thing we're going to do. We're going to put his black emblems. He's blacked everything out. We're going to change the wiring to the RCA wires. Remember, the RCA wires are the ones you want to have if your stereo has enough connections, because that means that you don't have to sit there and cut wires like this. Okay, this and this plug, remember, and this plug are the same. The only difference is this plug has a bunch of wires, which really sucks. This plug, you could just use your RCAs. This right here is my preamp wire. That's my speaker wires, back, front, left, right. And then I have an extra antenna wire, which I don't need because that one already has a stereo. What we mainly need is just to swap everything out. This right here, like I said, that's the amp wire. It's just swapping everything out, so it should be an easy lick. So we're gonna go ahead and pop that other one out real quick, and then we're gonna, if I did use this connection, and I probably did, because most of the time whenever we fix our own cars, we kind of use spare parts. And I always have a bunch of these, and I always have a bunch of these. So we're gonna swap them out, and hopefully we don't have to sit there and connect a bunch of crap. All right, so the first thing you want to do is remove your trim. Take a little flathead right here underneath this area. I'm sure if you've already installed your radio, then it shouldn't be a problem, but it has clips. You see that? Those clips right there? Those are the clips that you're going to be taking off right there. They go inserted here, here, and then it has this little slot right here that holds it right there. It's not a big deal. But like I said, we're just swapping out radios. It's not a big deal, but I figured I'd share it with y'all. It's a fun video. I always like installing radios. They're fun. All right, so as you can see, this radio did have the RCA connections, but it was missing a channel. So basically that's the reason why I probably use these wires, which we're not going to do this time. We're going to switch out the wires real quick, and we're going to use the other wires, and then that's how we're going to connect the other radio. So we're going to do that real quick. All right, so now that the stereo's out, you can see this right here is his remote wire for his amplifier right there. This is his RCAs for his amp right here. These are the factory wires. Now this element did not have a sub, so when you don't have a sub, I believe the antenna changes, and there's another wire that you don't use because of the sub. So the only thing I got to really connect is the main wire for the radio, which will have all the RCAs, so it should make it easier. I have to reconnect the remote wire to the remote wire of the stereo, but this is the mess that we got. Now this right here is a bypass for the brake, which used to work. But with these new stereos, for some reason, I guess the manufacturers got smarter. So now they design new ones. So I've been looking for one that works. And today, that's kind of what we're going to try out. Oh, this is the connection for his microphone. Okay, so we're going to definitely use that right now. But what we did, we are going to change the this basically bypass. And I'll show you the new one that I have. And I'm hoping that it'll work, because now with the new stereos, it's like they want you to switch it off and on, kind of like the parking brake, in order for you able to watch like a video. I'm not saying you should watch a video when you're driving, so don't do that. But it is nice to have that feature. I'm just saying. All right, so this is the stereo right here. We're going to cut the tape. It's all new. And like I said, these were on special on Walmart. I don't know if they still have any more, but I picked up one and my buddy picked up one. I'm going to switch the stereo out in our Unicorn, because it kind of sucks, but this is what it looks like. And these are what you call media centers. So basically all it is the stereo, and the stereo itself is basically just an interface. I'm pretty sure it looks familiar to some of y'all with the big giant 12-inch screens that everybody's putting in their Elements. This one kind of works the same, but it's just like putting in a doubled in, nothing big, nothing special, and it should still work the same way, and we still should be able to use the same casings. And it has the wires obviously and everything, the mic, everything you need to be able to connect it. But once again, we're not going to go crazy on the speaker wires. We're going to use the RCAs, because this stereo, as you can see, it has the video input for the RCA, it has the sub input, which you can divide it, and then it has the speakers on the left and right. And what I mean by dividing it is this. So when you have one outlet for a sub, you need a divider. You need a divider that basically turns this one sub outlet into a dual, if you want to have both left and right, or at least a good sound. So this divider, you can buy them at Amazon. They're like $7. So we're going to use a divider for sure. He doesn't have a backup camera, so we don't need a backup camera. He's going to have the mic. So the mic's right here. That's your mic. Antenna, you're basically front speakers, back speakers, right, left. That's it. Your connection, all you're going to need is your power. Basically, it's your main power, your remote power, and your constant power, ground. And then you should be good. Now, on the remote wire, I'm going to have to hook up the amplifier remote, and I'm going to hook up this new relay. This is the new relay that I bought, or switch for the backup camera. I mean, not the backup camera, but the video. So if we want to watch video or have a video output, you need to do a bypass. So we're going to try this bypass, and hopefully it works. All right, guys. So I basically separated the wires. I already put the butt connectors on there, as you can see. These are the butt connectors. This right here is my parking brake. This will go to the sensor. The sensor is pretty basic. It's basically a blue wire, black, and then brown. So it basically brown to green, that's your parking, black is ground, and then blue is like a remote. So it basically will tell the radio that you're in parking mode. That's that. And then all the speaker wires I don't need. All I need is a parking. I need the remote power. I need basically the constant power, the illumination, so when you turn your lights on and off, the radio will dim. And then you need your ground, and that's it. That's all you need. And that's the same thing that's on this right here. Basically, my constant, ground, and then you have the parking. Parking's on the car, or basically parking's right here, and it's a ground, your remote, power, and that's pretty much all you need. Your elimination. There's 2 wires here from this, which I think you don't really need, because one of them on your element, it's not necessary. You only need basically these 4 wires in your elimination, which is probably going to be this one right here. So I'm going to figure that out right now, and then we'll see how it goes. All right, so the stereo is plugged in. I'm doing a test run. There's a couple wires that I forgot what they go for. Because the radio is a little more simple, there's things that you don't need. I just need to run the microphone wire, because the microphone on this one is different. We did have a microphone on the other one, but this plug is a lot smaller, as you can see, and the new one is just a regular size, the 3.5, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick it on. I've been testing it, and I'm trying to test to make sure that the sensor works. So this is basically what it tells you, as far as the movie type thing. And then this right here, that's the movie. So I have a folder with movies, a USB with movies already. PCU, Repo Man, Revenge of the Nerds, Return of the Living Dead. So you can watch these movies. I'm going to put in, Blood Out. That's what I had in. So you click it, and you should be able to watch the movie. That's PCU right there. That's a funny movie. I see. So let's go. I'm trying to figure out how it is that you could, I guess, scroll the capabilities. But obviously, when you have the movie on, you should be able to see where it's at. And then that's the movie. I don't know how you fast forward, though. Yeah, I don't think this USB will give me that capability. I think it's just going to go in all the way and see. That's negative. Oh, maybe that's the way to do it. All right, let's try it like that. Let's go back to, oh no, Return of the Living Dead. Let's see, hold on. Like I said, this is a new stereo. And these movie files are pretty big files, okay? Just so you know. Let's see, Blood In, Blood Out. Let's try that. But in other words, I would not recommend driving while watching a video, but the idea of that is, that the video works, whether you're parked or idling somewhere, it doesn't matter. You should be able to use this. That's what the sensors are for. It's just a bypass. So I think this is a fast forward. I don't know if that's fast forward or not. And it could be the file, the way that my file is. We'll check it out right now. So as you can see, it's working. I can tell you right now that I think one of the reasons why it might not be fast forwarding, if you try to fast forward, especially on this radio, it's because of the file. Since it's one large file, it has no chapters. Or at least the radio doesn't recognize any chapters on it. But the bypass does work. And it seems to be opening up. And you could hear everything, sound and everything. I do believe that some of these files that I have, you have to have an MP4 file for sure, because I think that's the way most of the MP4 files work. But they look pretty good to me, so I don't know. It looks like it'd be all right. I gotta mess with the audio and finish hooking it up, but it looks like we're gonna be able to work on this. All right, guys. So I went ahead and connected it. It's already in. The wires pretty basic, like I said, because you don't need all the speakers. All you need is USBs, the antenna. I'm doing the Bluetooth test right now. The test on the Bluetooth sounds great. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna try the USB. That's the USB right there. See how this, so the USB sound is perfect. Super awesome on the bass part, because you could turn off the amp and turn it on. All right, so now we're doing a movie test just to make sure the bypass works, but it should work. There it is right there. Now, once again, if you download an MP4 file to a USB or anything, just remember that, if it doesn't have any chapters, it probably won't work on any radio. And some radios will not have fast forward bars. So look for files that are downloadable with chapters, or you could always stream it from your phone with the USB. That's the way this phone, but this it basically works. So right now we have function on the movie part. Like I said, don't drive while watching a movie, not safe at all. I'm not condoning it. It's a good little feature to have though. Sometimes I do believe whenever you're got your maps hooked up, it will stream it, but it's kind of flaky if you don't have that bypass. So the bypass right here helps. And like I said, this is a very easy connection because all you need, like I said, is the USBs, your power wires, your illumination, and that's it. Okay, I just got to connect the microphone and tidy up the wires and put it back in, and we're done.